Hello, welcome back to my Thaumcraft 4.1 tutorial series. So, I've changed up the farm a little bit. The paving stones of warding, the Thaumonomicon says, they're not 100% foolproof, and the golems were able to cross them just way too often for my comfort. So, I have made a nice little glass barrier over here for the farm. I like this more than fences because the animals don't get trapped in a corner like they so often do when you put fences around animals. I don't understand why they get trapped in the corner, but they just do. And with my nice boots of the traveler, I can just jump over the fence. So that's pretty handy. The farm, when it is full of herba essentia, this golem is not keeping up. So I need a better golem to run the farm when I have the lamp of growth turned on, but we'll get to that later. And I put some regular fences around here. I also put leaves on top of the trees. I noticed that the mana beans would sometimes land back on top of their pods, and the gather golem couldn't get to them. So hopefully this will once and for all solve the problem of the mana bean farm. Let's hope. Okay. Well, today I wanted to talk about infusion crafting. If you go into your Thaumonomicon on the Artifice tab under Infusion, there's the Brain in a Jar research, and you have to have scanned a zombie brain to open up that research. Zombie brains come from angry zombies, which I'm told spawn in any biome, but they're pretty rare. You will recognize them because they have red glowing eyes. I think they have more hit points too, might be a little bit faster. Not 100% sure about that. Let's just spawn one and I'll show you what they look like. So, angry... Really? Huh. Okay, I can't spawn an angry zombie, so that's not going to happen. So you just have to find one yourself, I guess. Alright. But if you get them, they will rarely drop their zombie brains. And zombie brains can be scanned to get that research. I've already scanned zombie brains. You can see they've got, aspects, ex animus. And it's one of the few uses, or a few sources, of ex animus for Essentia. Gas tiers have it also, and spawners, but, how often can you throw spawners into, your furnace? I think there's a way to move a spawner with Thaumcraft. I haven't seen it yet, so we'll look into that later, I hope. Alright. So, the Brain in a Jar is pretty cool. It absorbs experience. So, over here in the animal farm, every time the animals are bred, they are generating experience, which is normally just wasted. But if you have a brain in a jar, it just gets held for us. And if we right-click, we can get some of the experience out of the jar. Okay, so you can see there's been a lot of animals bred lately, so a lot of experience over here. So that's been pretty handy. Now, they don't get experience from killing the animals, although I think there's a golem upgrade we can do to get that to change. We'll look into that later, though. So, Brain in the Jar research is pretty cool. I made one in the last episode, but I cut it for time, so... The Brain in the Jar is an arcane infusion recipe, a zombie brain, warded jar, 2 spider eyes, and a water bucket. 10 Cognitio, which you can get from paper, 10 Sensus, which I had from flowers because flowers have Sensus, Herba, and Victus, which was perfect for my farms, and they require Ex Animus. Ex Animus is very hard to come by. Gas Tears and Zombie Brains are the only things I've found which have Ex Animus. I hope I can find another source of it, but, and you need 20 of that, so... let's see here. That was like 5 zombie brains or 5 gas tiers. Alright, but I've already placed that zombie brain, and it's doing its job pretty well. But that's not the best thing about the brain in a jar research. The best thing about the brain in the jar research is it opens up the Infusion Enchantment research. So let me get that, and when I solve it, I'll be back to show you what that's about. Okay, so here is the completed research for the Infusion Enchantment. It's pretty complicated, but if you're ever having trouble, use the research helper I linked. I mean, that thing is so helpful. Alright, get that, go into our Thaumanomicon, Artifice tab, Infusion Enchantment. So, in the last episode, we set up the Arcane Boar, and I got that perfect pickaxe and that perfect wand focus, and you can see it's all broken now. It's got one left, so, you know, in theory, you could repair this. I don't think I can repair this pickaxe. I think it's going to be too expensive to repair, but, you know, if you had something that was less expensive, you could repair it, theoretically. But it's done a pretty good job mining down there. And we've got, you know, coal, copper, iron, flint, some aluminum, and some amber. And then there's several stacks of cobblestone and dirt that I put barrels over here from factorization. But you're probably thinking, okay, well, great. When am I ever going to get that lucky and get a perfect pickaxe or a perfect wand focus of excavation? Well, you're probably not with the random enchantment system from vanilla Minecraft. And that is one of the things I absolutely hate about vanilla Minecraft. The enchantment system is so random and there's nothing you can do about it. But Thaumcraft is solving that problem for us. Infusion Enchantment, we are going to be able to enchant whatever we want with the exact thing we need. So if you go into Infusion Enchantment, it tells you what you need. So you can get the Thaumcraft enchants, the Repair 1 and 2. You can get Haste, Potency, Frugal, Treasure, blah, 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 blah. Every enchantment from Vanilla and all the ones from Thaumcraft, you can enchant on here. So, what do you have to do to get an enchantment? Well, it tells you the pattern, and your your infusion item is whatever you're trying to enchant. That goes in the middle. It tells you what items to put around the infusion altar, what aspects you're going to need, and it also tells you how many levels of experience you need. So, I think you can put these in a brain in the jar, but it works just fine to have them in your inventory. So here's a pretty useful one. Infinity 1, 6 levels. We need a bow, an arrow, some Salus Mundus, which is a great thing you're going to be able to get plenty of for your mana bean farm. In fact, you can see I've got tons of mana beans from my farm, so I can make more Salus Mundus if I need it. If I find my wand and some shards. So let's get some of that. Let's make some Salus Mundus. I'll get a couple just in case something goes wrong. Get my wand back. We also needed a bow, which I don't have any of, but I'll just cheat some in. And some arrows, which we also don't have any of, but I can get some of those. And we need 6 levels of experience, which I just happen to have. Alright, so we need 16 Permutatio, 8 Praecontatio, 16 Tellum, and 16 Vacuos. So, let's see here. Tellum I only have 8 of. I don't know how you would normally get Tellum. Probably weapons. Yeah, swords and arrows have them. This is also a good use for your mana bean farm. I probably have some Tellum beans over there if I wanted to cook those up in my alchemical furnace. I've only got one, so, you know, obviously this test world isn't running when I'm not here, so I don't have a ton of beans, but I have plenty more in my actual world. Alright, that's enough to tell him. What else did we need? The one thing I don't like in the Thaumanomicon is it doesn't remember what page you left off on, so to go all the way back to the end. 16 vacuos. I happen to have just enough vacuos, but remember, if anything goes wrong, you can occasionally need more than it requires. So I always would like to have a little bit more than we absolutely need, just in case. 8 Precontatio, got plenty of that, and 16 Permutatio. I've got plenty of that stuff. Alright, so I'll get one more bow. Alright. Salus Mundus, arrow, bow. Salus Mundus, arrow, bow. Put my wand over there. I need another bow just in case something goes wrong. Alright. Salus Mundus, arrow, bow. That should be good. And you can see it draining my experience. It's causing me a little bit of damage, but that's okay, it does that, so don't do it when you're really weak, I suppose. I believe that all of the instabilities for these are... No, I guess they're all a little bit different. So this one's moderate, so, you know, Infinity is kind of a high-grade thing, so... Getting the rest of the Permutatio. This is a very involved process to set this up, but, you know, the result is a perfect enchant of everything you want, and that's just too cool. Not that one. That one. Look at that. I've got a bow with Infinity 1. Perfect. So useful for the Nether. Okay, so there we go. Infusion Enchantment. And you can make pretty much any enchantment that you want. So, if they have extra levels, you have to do it multiple times. So, if we were to enchant, say, some armor with Fire Protection 3, we'd have to do level 1, then level 2, then level 3. And the cost doubles. Actually, I think it just increases by the amount of the first one each time. So, looks like 3, 6, 9. So you would need 15 levels to get from nothing to Fire Protection 3. It also says that if you have other enchantments, it may cost more stuff. It says 10% per level of enchantment. I don't really know what that means. It raises the instability, I've seen that, but I don't know if that's cost for levels, cost for Essentia. I mean, I did some armor with Repair 2 and Unbreaking 3, and I got just the cost it was, so I don't know quite what that means, but you may need extra stuff when you're doing things. I'm thinking it means for experience levels, but the Thaumanomicon is sometimes a little ambiguous. Alright, let me go check time, but back in a flash. Okay, we've got a little bit more time, so I thought I would talk about the Thaumcraft specific enchants. They are up in the basic information section of the Thaumanomicon under enchantments. So there's Potency, Frugal, and Treasure. These are only for wand foci. So frugal makes them use less V. That's kind of helpful. Potency is going to increase the damage, range, or area of the focus. So for, say, a fire focus, it should do more damage. For a wand of excavation, or portable hole, or probably even the equal trade focus, it should do a wider area of effect. Treasure, I've got to say, I don't know what that would be other than, I guess it would work for the equal trade too, because it breaks a block. So if you broke an amber block, you might get more amber out of that, or more coal, whatever, diamonds. So that would be useful for the excavation and possibly the equal trade focus. Now haste I thought was just vanilla, but they have their own haste too, but it makes things faster. Repair is the nicest one though. If you get yourself a full set of Somnium Armor, and it's just like any vanilla armor pattern. Let me get some Somnium. If I can find Somnium. There we go. Just like all the other armor patterns, helmet gives you a Somnium helm. Like that gives you Somnium leggings. Somnium chest plate. And Somnium boots. And if you have repair 2 on these things, they will basically repair their own damage. So if you're wearing them, they're going to repair their damage. I don't know how the algorithm quite works, but it works pretty well. I've got, if you get repair 2, either by getting it by doing Infusion Enchantment or by just getting lucky, you have a set of armor that will last pretty much indefinitely. Somnium is slightly better than iron. Now, they don't have the nice Boots of the Traveler effect, so, they're not by default walking faster. I could put a haste on it, but I still won't be able to jump higher or have the 1-block step assist. So, really like my Boots of the Traveler. And you also don't get V discounts, so it's helpful probably to keep a set of armor in your base for V discounts and another set of armor when you're going out fighting. That's what I do anyway. So those are the Thaumcraft specific enchants. Repair 2, very, very nice. I usually like Repair 2, Unbreaking 3, and then some vanilla enchants like Blast Protection and what's that one? Projectile Protection. If you get those, and then Fire Protection, you've got a really great set of armor. So doing the Infusion Enchantment, you can get all of those things exactly like you want. It's going to take some work to that's how Thaumcraft goes. You have to invest time in it to get the result you want, but you can usually get a pretty good thing worked out with Thaumcraft. So I gotta say, Thaumcraft, I'm starting to like it quite a bit. Alright, that's a pretty good wrapping up point, I think. We'll see you next time.